to all my dear students. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will try to complete the whole set of paper 1 for trial exam 2020 for SBP, so that you can be well prepared for your SPM 2021. Alright, so today I will continue with the rest of the question that I haven't discussed. For your information, this is the 4th video. Let's have a look of the question number 16. Okay, this is the SBP 2020 trial exam question, part 4. Okay, this is video number 4. So let's see question number 16. You are given the circle with center O and the radius 12 cm. And then you are given the length of arc AB is equal to 4 pi. So this is quite direct question. So the arc length AB was given 4 pi, and you're asking to find the angle AOB. Remember the formula S equal to R theta, and the theta is in radian. So we just substitute the arc length and the radius. You will get the answer. Theta is pi over 3 rad. Okay, so we need to find the value. So we have to use the calculator to find the value for angle AOB in terms of value. Unless the question asks for in terms of pi, we will leave it in pi form. But now the question says the value of the angle, so it's 1.047 for significant figures, right? Now for question B, you're asking to find the area of the shaded region. So the area of the shaded region is actually area of the segment. So we will use the area of the sector, which is 1 over 2 r squared theta, minus area of the triangle, which is 1 over 2 AB sine C, but the A and B is radius, and the C is the angle between the two radius, which is the theta. So when you use this formula, you must be aware that the theta for the sector is in radian, but the theta for the trigo is always in degree. Unless you want to write in radian, you must convert your calculator into radian mode. So I advise you convert the pi over 3 into degree. Then you can press your calculator one shot and you don't have to convert to radian mode because it's a bit troublesome. So you have to make sure you convert back to degree after you convert to rad mode. So to avoid this, we try to convert the theta into degree, because the pi is equivalent to 180 degrees. So it's quite simple for you to convert into degree. Okay, so after you convert into degree, you can press your calculator directly, and you will get the answer accurately to 4 significant figures. So the answer should be 13.04 centimeter square. So please remember, it must be square. Make sure the unit is correct. Alright. Okay, so this is about the area of the segment. So area of the segment is area of the sector minus area of the triangle. So the next question is, so this is actually the trigo equation. So we have trigo function and we have trigo equation. If it is function, you have to sketch the right angle triangle at a certain quadrant. Remember that? So if it is equation, you must make sure your double angle, the 2 theta, cos 2 theta, you have 3 formula, right? You have 2 cos square theta minus 1 Another one is cos square theta minus sine square theta. And one more is 1 minus 2 sine square theta. So we will choose the one with the cos square theta because we need to make sure, okay, the equation is having the common term or in terms of cos theta. So we substitute into the equation, become 2 cos square theta minus 1 equal to cos theta, and then we will rearrange in general form. So we are doing quadratic trigo equation. Okay, so we shift everything to the left and we'll factorize correctly. So make sure you double check all the factors and make sure the factors are perfect. So I think I have to plus, yes. So then the cos theta is negative 1 over 2 and the cos theta is equal to 1. So then you have to find the reference angle. Remember that? So the reference angle is always positive. So it's 60 degrees, and then you have to refer to the quadrant whereby cosine is negative is second quadrant and the third quadrant. So is actually at the second and the third. So for the second is 120, right? And then for the third is 240. So finally your answer you need to convert to pi form according to the instruction of the question. So we'll take 120 times pi over 180 and 240 times pi over 180 degree. Alright, so these are the answers in radian, 2 pi over 3, another one is 4 pi over 3. Finally, we have to solve the other factor, cos theta equal to 1. This one you have to get the value from the cosine graph. So cosine graph looks like this. So the starting 0 cos theta, cos 0 is 1. That means theta is 0 in order to get the value 1. And one more is 360 degree or 2 pi because our answer must be in radian. So finally, we have to list out all the answer in one sentence in radian. Make sure it's in pi form. Okay, these are the 4 answers. Okay, to make the perfect answer. So you have to list out accordingly so that you won't be penalized by the marker. Okay, so we have 4 answers for theta. So please keep in mind that whenever you want to solve the trigo equation, you must make sure you are having the common term, and you must make sure you write the answer accordingly. If they want degree, you give degree. If they want radian, you give radian form. Okay, for this question, now this is a normal distribution with the x is given as mean and the variance. So the y is a variance. That means the standard deviation will be square root of y. So you are having mean, which is 5, and the x score is m. So, and then the question say you have to express in terms y in terms of m and k. Then the z score was given. Z score is k. So you need to express y in terms of m and k. So we will write the z score formula. Z equal to x minus mean over standard deviation, and then we'll substitute all the information from the question. So our z score is k, and then our x is m, and the mean was given 5, and the standard deviation is that was variance, so it should be square root of y, right? So then you have to substitute into the z score formula. This formula can be referred from the formula list. So we just substitute all the information into the z score formula. and we try to squaring both sides, and we can get rid of the square root y. And the question say we need to express y in terms of the m and k, so this should be the right answer. So your answer must be y equal to m squared minus 10m plus 25 over k squared. Right, so now we need to write the answer like this, so that is y in terms of m and k. Okay, then next question will be okay, this is actually is about the probability distribution, but is a binomial distribution. So we just discuss the normal distribution, which is a bell shape. Now we'll discuss the binomial distribution. So when you write, the formula is binomial NP, it means the n is 3. So then you have to find all the value of the probability from the graph given. So the value that you find should be equal to 1, because the probability value should be equal to 1. So now you just label like this. For this one, the probability value is 3b squared, and this one, the probability value is 3 over 7. And then for the other one is a, and the last one is 3b squared. Now we need to plus every lines, because each line representing the probability value. So you take 3b squared plus 3 over 7 plus a, and then plus 3b squared equal to 1. Alright, so then you just simplify until b in terms of the a. So we have 6b squared equal to 1 minus 3 over 7 minus a. So 6b squared equal to 4 over 7 minus a. So b squared is equal to 4 over 7 minus a divided by 6, and then you need to square root. Okay, you need to divide by 6 before you square root. So finally the answer is square root 4 over 7 minus a over 6. Alright, so now the B is asking to find the probability value for the x more than or equal 1. So we will just write down all the probability value starting from 1, and then 2, and then 3. But the instruction of the question mentioned in terms of the B, so we need to express the answer in terms of the B, meaning that we cannot see other than B except number. So we have 3b squared plus a, and then plus 3 over 7. So but from the question just now, your a is equal to 4 over 7 minus 6b squared. So we substitute into the answer accordingly, according to what the question wants. So the question asking in terms of b, so we need to substitute a in terms of b. So it's 4 over 7 minus 6b squared, right? Just now we have solved the a in terms of b, so then we will simplify to the simplest form. So your answer is 1 minus 3b squared. So this is the answer for the binomial distribution. Alright, for this question is actually testing you the concept of the gradient. Okay, they give you the trigo of cos alpha. So whenever the trigo is given, you can work out all the other two. If they give you cosine, you can find tangent, you can find sine. And as you know, when you want to form the equation, you need to have gradient. So obviously when you see the right angle triangle, the gradient is the length of the vertical line over the horizontal line, which is equal to tangent. So the gradient is equal to the value of tangent. So the line is going down, so the gradient is negative. So if you find the tangent, you will get the answer for the tangent value is 5/12, and that value, it must be negative, alright, because it is a gradient for the line which is going down, so the gradient should be negative. So first of all, you write the value of tangent, which is negative 5/12, and then you will have to relate the tangent value to the gradient of a straight line. In short, tangent value is gradient, okay, for a straight line. So then you simplify and you write y equal to mx plus c, right? And then you solve your c and you rewrite again your equation. Remember that? So your y is 3, your m is negative 5/12, and your x is negative 2, and you have to ask the c and you have to solve the c. After you solve the c, okay, be careful when you solve the c. The c is 3 minus 5/6, alright? Don't cross multiply, alright? So this is minus. So your answer is, you made the denominator the same, so it's 6 times 3, 18 minus 5, which is 13/6. So finally, don't forget to rewrite the equation of the straight line like this, so that you can get full marks for the equation of the straight line, and make sure you put a negative at the middle of the line. And then the next question that I would like to discuss with you is the ratio theorem. So when you see the 3 points A, B, and C was given, and there's a point B divides the line segment internally with the ratio AB equal to KAC. So I suggest you draw a straight line and you label the point accordingly. Point A, you have negative 2, 2, and point B is internally, okay, the point B is 0, 4, and the point A is negative 2, 2, and the point C is 3, 7. And then from the ratio given, AB equal to KAC, it means that you have to write in fraction. So that means that AB is K portion and the AC is 1. So you label your AB is K and your BC is 1 minus K, because the whole line A to C is 1. Alright, then you cross multiply. So you take the K times the 3, make sure you cross multiply, and then 1 minus K times the negative 2 over the total ratio, which is 1, and the coordinate x that you equate to is 0. Okay, let's see how to cross. So that is how I cross multiply. K must times the 3 plus 1 minus K times negative 2 over the total ratio, which is 1. Okay, alright, so you have the K times 3 plus 1 minus K times negative 2 over 1, which is equal to 0. Alright, so you can do the other one, which is equal to the y coordinates, and then you simplify. If you're running out of time, you just do 1, okay, and you solve the value of K is 2 out of 5. So that is what the question asking. Find the ratio, find the value of K. So the K's value is 2 over 5. That means the ratio is AB to the BC is 2 to 3. So finally we will try to write the ratio AB, ratio BC is equal to 2 ratio 3. So you have to write in ratio form. Do not write in fraction, alright? So because ratio must be in semicolon. Okay, this is about the ratio theorem. So you see for paper 1, each question will have its own way to solve. So it makes the paper 1 become very tough. Okay, let's see, this is vectors. So when you see vector like this, basically you just find the addition of the 4 times r plus s. Okay, so you simplify carefully. 4 times r plus s, so we will have 4 times 3n minus 2, and then 5, and then plus the m minus 1 over 15. So then we will expand, simplify until we have a vector column. Alright, so you are having the component of the x which is 12n plus m minus 9, and the component of the y is 35. So then, because the question already mentioned that this vector 4r plus s is going to parallel with the y-axis. So when the line is parallel to y-axis, the component of the x must be equal to 0. Alright, so same thing if they say the line parallel to x-axis, that means the component of the y must be 0. So in this case, because the line is parallel to y-axis, so we will let the component of the x, okay, equivalent to 0, and then we try to solve the expression. Okay, I'm explaining to you, this is one example of the vector is 0, 35, or you can read as 35j, and then finally you try to make 12n plus m minus 9 equal to 0 due to the component of the x of the vector is equal to 0. So the answer must be following the instruction. If they want m in terms of n, so you have to shift the 9 and then become positive, and the positive 12 and become negative. So this is how you solve the parallel vector. It can be parallel to y-axis or parallel to x-axis. So that's how you do. For this question, I think there is some mistake happen for part B, but for part A is quite okay. You just table the distance between the A to Q and the B to Q by using the distance. Now we need to do some calculation, because the question say the sailboat A is situated 450 meters from jetty Q. So we just read through, then the point B is situated 200 meters from the jetty Q. So now they give you the vector 1u is 50 meters in the direction of QB. So you go to the vector QB and label how many u of your vector, and the other one is 1v, one vector v represent 100 meter. So you have to label accordingly. Okay, so now we will try to figure out the A to Q and then Q to B, follow the direction. This is A to Q, and then the distance is 460 meter, and then I'm not sure about the unit, later we'll double check. And then for the other one is 200, so we will make it is equivalent to how many u and how many v. But before that, let's complete the direction from B to R and from Q to B. So we follow the direction given by the question. Then only we will solve the vector. Okay, vector AB. So for this one u it represents 50 meter. So you are having how many meter here? So the question is mentioning how many. So you just divide by 5. So it's 200 divided by 5, so you get 4. And the other one is 450, you have to divide by 100. So you got 4.5. Okay, v, which is the vector given to you. Then I think this question is quite simple. Finally, they will ask you to find the vector, express the vector AB in terms of u and v. So you have to add the two vectors, then that is your answer in terms of u and v. Alright, so AB equal to AO plus OB. Alright, so then we will substitute all the vector inside there, negative 4.5v plus 4u. Okay, so this is the part AB. And then for the next part of the vector question, I don't think I want to discuss here because it seems like there is some misinformation there. Alright, so but it's okay if you realize that there is a mistake, you can change it. Alright, so the questions information for part B is not in detail, so that's why I chose not to discuss here. Okay, so the information is incorrect, so we will discuss some other days if there is a correction. So I cannot solve this, so sorry. Next I will discuss another one. Okay, another one. We try to complete this set of paper so that you can do your revision at home. Okay, now for this question is about the so you have to use a concept of the magnitude. I think we try to use the concept magnitude. So for part B, we are still in the part B of the vector. So you have 26 along the x-axis and you have negative k along the vertical axis. So we have to find the resultant vector. So the answer is 26 square plus k square equal to 45 square. And you try to solve your answer, right, for the k. So 45 square minus 26 square. And you don't forget to square root the 9. Okay, square root it so that you can get the perfect vectors. Okay, so then the next question I would like to discuss is, okay, this one I haven't complete yet, so let me finish it first. K square equal to 45 square minus 26 square, and wait for me to press the calculator first. So the answer I got is, I just write down the answer is 36.73. Alright. Okay, so the next question is the quadratic function. So let's study the quadratic function. You're given the quadratic function fx equal to x squared minus 2x plus p, where p is a constant and this function is always greater than 3. Okay, the sentence referring to the minimum value is greater than 3, okay? So it's not referring to the p value. What is the value of the p if the function is having the minimum value 3, alright? So we will try to use many ways. There are 3 ways actually. One is completing the square, and then the other one is using formula. Remember, x equal to negative b over 2a. This is a formula for the axis of symmetry. And the third method is you can use your dy dx. Okay, you find the turning point. Okay, because at the minimum point and maximum point, dy dx is always equal to 0. So your function is fx equal to x squared minus 2x plus p. So if I want to do the completing the square, that is the way I have to add in half of the b square, and I have to minus out immediately. So after I minus out, then I will make sure its value is there, no changes. So we will simplify the first 3 terms into a perfect square, and the last term, or last second term, or the last one after the perfect square, all the values after the perfect square should be equal to more than 3. So then you solve the value of the p. So it's p more than 3 plus 1. So that means it is p more than 4. So the p, the lowest value of the p should be 5. Okay, so for this one, you can use method 2 is using formula x equal to negative b over 2a. This is the axis of symmetry. So when you use the axis of symmetry, x equal to negative b over 2a, alright, then you find the value of the x. With the value of the x, you can find the corresponding y value, okay, by substitute the x into the function, into the y. So this way is very fast. So negative, okay, b is negative 2 over 2 times 1. So your x is actually 2 over 2, which is 1. So we substitute the 1 into the function. We get negative 1 plus p also. So this value is more than 3. That means the p will be more than 4. So the smallest value of the p should be equal to 5, right? So the answer should be p equal to 5. This is the smallest values of the p. Okay, next we will discuss another way of doing is you can find the dy dx. You can just f prime x, or you just find your dy dx and you let it equal to 0, and then you will solve the x, and then hence you can solve the y value. Okay, so now I'm going to show you there's another way. It is method number 3. We use dy dx. So we will do according to the shortest way to do. I think dy dx is one of the best way to do. You just differentiate and then you let it equal to 0. So let's see our function. So our function is the y. So we just do dy dx, and then we get the dy dx equal to 0. Okay, so if I differentiate, will be f prime x, or because they are not given the y, so we have to use f prime x, but it's actually the same, is equal to dy dx. So your answer is 2x minus 2. So you try to find the turning point. The coordinate x is 2x minus 2 equal to 0, so x is equal to 1, and then you substitute x equal to 1 into the function. Then you find the value of the y, which is more than 4. Okay, so your p is still 5. No matter which method you use, you will get the same answer. Alright. Finally, Okay, we almost reached the last question for the paper 1. So the same thing, this is still quadratic function. So if I look at the question, they give you a normal quadratic equation and they give you the one with the completing the square. So it's up to you, you can do completing the square if you want. If you don't want, you can use a shortcut that I teach you, x equal to negative b over 2a, and then you substitute your b and a. Okay, your b is a and your a is 2, so I'm getting x equal to negative a over 4, and the x is equal to 3, and the a is negative 12. This is one way of doing. I think some of you might want to expand the perfect square and then you do comparison. It's okay, still accepted. Okay, the b value is actually the lowest value, so you can only get the y value when you have the x value. So you sub x equal to 3 into the function y equal to 2x squared plus a is negative 12x, right? We have the a value just now. So you substitute, then you will try to simplify. You will have 18 minus 36 plus 12. That's 12. So your answer is 6. Okay, your answer is negative 6, right? Negative 18 plus 12. There's some careless mistake there. So please add the 1 to the 2 become 12. So your y is equal to negative 6 is the lowest value of the function. So y minimum, of course, when the y minimum, it should be the value just now, which is negative 6, right? So I think I almost complete the full set of the SBP question. So and then, okay, for this question, for quadratic function, as I told you, you have more than 3 ways to do. So you can always use the dy dx. Alright, just remember how to differentiate. So if I differentiate, I will get the 4x plus a, because my curve is 2x squared plus ax plus 12, so it becomes 4x plus a. So my dy dx must be 0 because that is the minimum point. Minimum point and maximum point dy dx must be 0 because of the gradient of the tangent, which is horizontal, right? So with that you can solve very fast, because you got the x value and the x is equivalent to 3, so your a is negative 12. So you are still getting the same answer even though you're using different method. So that is another way you can explore as many solutions as possible, and you choose the shortest way to do. Okay, and all this actually need you to practice. You must practice more, and you can do well in your coming exam next year. Alright, so the answer for A is negative 12, for B is negative 6, and for the minimum value of the y, of course, is negative 6. So that's the end of the discussion of the question paper 1 for the SBP. So I really hope that my sharing do help you to prepare for your SBM exam. With that, I thank you. Bye-bye.